Hello all, so I welcome you all, and this video is for all the students and parents who are actually willing to learn maths and their exams are approaching. So I'm going to give you some pointers, some tips which are actually going to help you a lot in your exams, okay? So before I start, a small introduction of mine. My name is Abhay Kumar. I'm from NIT Srinagar. I qualified IIT JNE IEEE long back in 2012. Post that I completed my engineering electrical branch, and after that I got a job in rail transport. I am also GATE qualified. So that's pretty much about me, and yeah, maths is a kind of a subject which is very close to my heart. So I'm from cbse board, 95% scorer both in 10th and 12th. So now let's quickly go to the topic now. Let's understand few things about maths. See, if maths you are taking as just a kind of subject, okay? I'm right now, the few pointers which I'm going to give is only for students, okay? If you're taking maths just as a subject to score good in maths or good in paper or in exams, I will say that going a bit far is a bit difficult, because if you're just taking it as a subject, you will just remember maths till the subject is there, till the exam is there. Once the terms are over, you will forget the concept, right? So don't take maths as just a subject, take it as a part of your life. See, understand this thing, from the day you are born, there's a probability of you getting born, okay? And the day you are alive, and everything that you do can be plotted in terms of maths. Maths is just not a subject, it's a way you live life. You cannot get rid of maths. It's everywhere, okay? Point number 2. Now coming on to, this is one of the biggest mistakes that most of the students do, that copying the questions incorrectly. Sometimes what happens, you see the question, and then when you have to solve it, sometimes you copy it incorrectly. You sometimes put minus s plus or something 2s3 something, 2x square ko you write it 2x cube. So don't make those mistakes. 20% of students lose marks because of this silly mistake. So while copying the questions, be really attentive. See exactly what you are copying. Point number 2, don't mug up. Don't mug up the complete steps of a question. A lot of times I've seen that when the exams start approaching, what students start doing is they will do all the questions, that's great. But alongside that, in the questions where they don't understand the concept, they will start mugging up the steps. They will literally start mugging up the steps, and when that same question comes with a bit of a tweak in the numerical values or with a bit of a tweak in the concept, they are like blank because they have never done it. So don't mug up the steps. Point number 3, try to understand the concepts. The concepts are important. For example, in case you are solving a question of trigonometry, okay, but you know exactly how to apply trigonometric ratios in a triangle. But when it comes to solving the equations by forming trigonometry, that is where you are getting stuck. So the problem is not the trigonometry. The problem is that you are weak in solving equations, okay? Understand this thing. You have to see where exactly you are lacking, okay? So this is the point number 3. Point number 4, see, scoring full marks should not be your aim. Understand this thing. Scoring full marks in an exam should not be your aim. Your aim should be whatever you are reading, understanding in maths, are you able to apply it? Are you able? See, maths is the only subject where you actually don't have to mug up anything. In fact, very less things you have to mug up. So there is not a lot of pressure like in the exams of history where you have to mug up a lot. You have to read a lot, right? So understand this thing, that don't go with the mindset of scoring full marks. Go with the mindset that yes, I know all the concepts and there is no pressure on my mind. I have solved all the questions, and if any questions come with a bit of a tweak in the numerical values, I still know the concept. I'll be able to do it. Do positive self-talk, and that's what I'm trying to say. Okay. After that, that's where a lot of students. Sometimes what happens is you are very good at maths. I understand, but sometimes what happens, due to lack of concentration, you sometimes do mistakes in calculations. When you do 253 into 25, when you do in the calculation in the rough part, that's where something happens and you do a bit of a mistake. So my suggestion to you is try to re-verify the calculations. What is the meaning of it? That once you do the calculation, again just quickly see that calculation, that are you doing it correct. It will hardly take 10 to 15 seconds to re-verify it. So do it because it's going to help you. After that, what happens is, when you solve your any cbse, icse or any textbook that you follow, RD Sharma, RS Agarwal or whatever, Salina, whatever you follow, see, for every question that you solve, of course, try to solve all the questions. After that, you will know that in this particular question, this is the mistake that you have done. So what I used to do, and that has helped me actually a lot, that in whichever question I have done the mistake, I will write that mistake. I will write when I was making equations, I did not cross multiply. And this thing, when I write it in the front of that question, that's when I remember that, okay, I am weak at this point. Okay. So there was a kind of in fact, sometimes when we right now everything is online, but when I used to give exams, there was a concept of filling the OMR sheets. We had to fill the OMR sheets. And sometimes what happened, that I used to fill the OMR sheets wrong. Sometimes in place of A, I used to fill B. So what I used to do is, after filling, I will recheck it. Okay, 10th ka B hai. Have I filled 10th ka B? That's how I used to recheck it. Okay, so you will know yourself. देखो, आपको आपसे अच्छा इस दुनिया में कोई नहीं जानता. आपके पेरेंट्स तक आपको आपसे अच्छा नहीं जानते हैं. I'm talking to students, right? So आपको पता है कि आप कहाँ गलती करते हो. You know that already. So try to rectify yourself at those points. Okay, write it down. If you are doing some important question, you know that it's an important question, and okay, this is the step where I make mistakes. So write it down in front of that question, make it red. Just fold that page in your textbook so that you know, okay, this is where I make mistakes. And just before going to the exam, solve multiple questions from the same concepts so that that particular thing all goes out forever. Okay, so these are few pointers which I want to give to the students. Now let me talk to a few of the parents. So if you have listened to my video, okay, so see, parents understand this thing. There are two kinds of students out there. Okay, one student is a kind of a person who is, he's willing to learn, but he's somewhere not able to apply concepts. He's not able to solve questions. And the second category is the student itself is not willing to learn. He's somewhere not motivated to learn maths, and that's where our role comes in. If the student is not able to solve questions, we can help them for sure. Definitely, any teacher can help them if he's willing to learn. But if he himself or herself is not willing to learn, that is where we need to see why this gap is there. Somewhere is not motivated, is not able to understand why I need to learn maths, right? So that is where your role and my role as a teacher comes in, right? So what I'm basically trying to say is, see what he's doing wrong, why he's not motivated in maths. Is he, whatever he's learning in school, is he not able to apply it? This is what you have to. Sometimes, what I say is to say to parents is, give your child 50 rupees, ask him to go to the nearest whatever, like ask him to go to 10 minute or whatever shop is nearby. Tell him that, okay, I'm giving you 50 rupees. You know that a kurkure comes for rupees, whatever, 25 or 20 or 15 rupees. Go and buy it and tell me how much change will you get. And let him calculate and let him 50 rupees ही है ना, थोड़ा गलती भी करेगा तो क्या दिक्कत है. Let him go and try to do that maths and bring the money back along with the packet of kurkure. He will understand the bits ki why math is important. Somewhere we need to inculcate, motivate him. Ask themselves, that there's a 2 BHK and 3 BHK in PLH. Do you know why 3 BHKs are costly? He will say, yeah, there is area, space is more, area is more. Then ask him that, can you calculate that area? Okay, what is the meaning of that area? What do you understand by that area? Right, that's when you try to give him a bit of a feel. You give him a feel so that he starts loving maths. That's where our roles comes in, right? So this is a very important thing which I want to tell you. Now, other thing which I want to tell parents, I have seen, I interact with a lot of students, and somewhere I feel that during this COVID period, there's a bit of a lag. People who are studying in 8th standard or 6th standard, somewhere there's a gap of 2 years. From 4th standard, 6th standard, everything was online. Maybe they were not able to concentrate, or because of some reason, the concepts are lacking. Okay, so sometimes you have to see that how your child is solving the maths. Is he too much dependable on internet? For every question, is he Googling? See, I know that students are smart. That from the day they are born, they know how to operate smartphones. I hope we all agree to it, right? So try to see that, is your child too much depending on internet? Is he Googling a lot? Is he using calculators? Because as per me, till 12th class, you are not supposed to use any calculator, right? So that's where we have to see him. Okay, so be careful. See if it is too much dependable on internet, then try to, cut off those connections when at least he's studying. Okay, so that's going to further help you and your child, and try to see exactly, understand this. Sometimes, what happens is, when you give your child a question, ask him to sit in front of you and solve it, and just try to see that what exactly he's doing wrong, and through that you will understand. So with this, I am done. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope this video helps you. And to all the students, remember this thing: maths is just not a subject, it is the way you live your life. Thank you so much. Bye bye.